Well, today we're featuring stuff on World War I and Two, right?
Oh,
so that's that little title for all this little thing is, what do you think of that then?
What do you think of that then? Play a record. Go on, Karl. What's next? Are you going to do your war feature? What is it called?
What do you think of that then?
You do that now?
It annoys me a bit, right? Because we said before Christmas that we'd come back with new stuff.
Yeah.
Gave you a title to work on, that Ridiculous.
Right.
You came in today, I said, have you sorted it out? You say no. Steve, you're having a go at me for wanting to get music out of the library for you.
Yeah.
You haven't got any new ideas.
Sure.
Dissing mine.
I'm not dissing yours.
Well,
I'm a massive fan of them.
Good vibe off you.
Oh, I think that's very harsh. I just asked you when were we going to have war. Do you think of that? I'm a big fan. I'm excited.
Well, it's not that good, to be honest with you.
Well, I disagree. It sounds brilliant.
Right. Well, it's a bit of a tweak of Educating Ricky.
Right.
Just some information on wars.
Yeah.
Okay.
World War II.
World War II. All right.
The world champion chess player. He helped someone out. In the war.
It's the detail I like.
No, he
You know, it's nearly a history programme, isn't it?
I was watching those repeats of The World at War.
Yeah.
They were on in the mornings, you know, incredibly
Did
detailed,
you
but
lot-
they've got nothing on Karl.
Did you write a lot of that David Sharma series?
He was able to use his skills that he has to play chess, because apparently chess is all about probabilities of like where a piece will be put.
Right.
And they got him in, and they said, "Can you help us out?" He said, "Yeah." And he said, "Right, where should we like?"
Hitler has just moved his queen.
So that's a fact.
He sent in a bishop that ran diagonally through the troops, knocking them over.
Sorry, wait a minute, Karl. So they got a chess
Sorry,
player.
that's it.
Well, yeah. It's just like, oh, what do you think of that?
Again, that's not a story.
But it angers me that he says that I'm down on the ideas when that... I mean, that's beginning to shape up as quite interesting. I thought you were going to tell me which battle or which event
World War
was
II.
you...
World War II.
There's not a battle.
But which bit of your World War II?
Like the middle bit.
There's 6 years worth.
Yeah, well, probably about a bit in.
Guessing.
Thought, let's...
Guessing.
Well, alright, yeah, there is a bit of guesswork, but it doesn't matter.
But that could have been an interesting thing if you told me it had an impact
Well,
on the
when you
Normandy
look
landings.
at these things, do you go, bloke wants out chest, oh, I'll use that, and run away from the computer?
No,
or
I
run
read
out of
it.
the bookshop?
I read the first line where I get enough information, I just think...
What do you mean you read the first line where you get enough information? Imagine if you were someone's defence lawyer,
Exactly.
and he was like, he's on death row, and
Yeah.
went, I don't think he did it.
Yeah.
I read the first line, I didn't read the file
It's
He
completely.
was in a hotel in Texas. Right, go on.
It's enough.
Oh, some other
It's
stuff.
enough,
He
it's
definitely
enough,
didn't kill it.
it's enough, it's enough.
And
Yeah,
I
that's
just thought
interesting.
they always took ages on deciding where to go. It's just like, bet there's a better way.
Play and etiquette in war. The
I don't
objective is
think
to
that's
kill
a
the enemy.
place. I don't think war and that is a place to start getting all uppity about someone cheating or having a better system.
Really? You think all fair in love and war, do you?
Yeah, definitely.
Right, but
It's
it's
just
got
about
rules,
winning.
isn't it?
No, not in a war. There isn't rules.
So what about things like the Geneva Convention? It's the understanding that even if we're entering into a war, theoretically, there's a set of agreed
It's good for both
universal
sides,
rules.
isn't it? Fair play has got to come into
but
everything.
What's extraordinary about the idea of English fair play is, famously the approach during the First World War, that we would sort of walk up out of the trenches onto no man's land and sort of politely march at a slow, steady pace across towards the
I know.
enemy. I mean, and then we were just being machine gunned down. I mean, it was absurd.
Well, I know we were fodder. It was fodder to use up some of their bullets. I mean, it was crazy.
I mean, it's madness, but in a way, it's the gentry who are leading us, seeing the average Tommy as a sort of as cannon fodder.
Of
I mean,
course. And you've got to realise that most of the people didn't want to be there. Most of them didn't even understand it. I mean, and if you think of the first and second, they were just wars, But I can't imagine
how
what
would
it'd
you
be
cope,
like.
do you think, Karl, in a war situation? You've seen all those films of the.
I mean, that's the one they had a knockabout and stuff, didn't they? They took the game of football. And
In
that.
no man's land, yeah. Christmas Day.
But who took a football there? If I was on the front line, I would not be getting out the rule book. I can tell you that much. I'd be going mental.
Are you saying there should be some rules or no rules?
I mean, you've got to have some rules, otherwise it's just going to be like Grand Theft Auto, isn't it? I'm just going to go about battering everyone.
Yeah.
And you soon get bored of that.
So I think you've got to have some rules.
Right.
Which rules would you repeal that already exist that you don't like?
It's a shame you can't tip as much as you used to be able to.
You mean in a restaurant?
No, just when you're getting rid of a mattress or something.
Well, I think I'd just better ask Karl a couple of quick questions about Hitler. Then we can get on with our lives.
Okay, we can tick that particular box.
Yeah, put that. Yeah. Okay, Karl.
Put that particular dictator to bed.
It's week 3 of his education. You've nailed Rasputin and Che Guevara. I don't want to lose complete sight of those. I'll maybe ask you a couple of those in the week just to see, keep your mind on it. But Hitler.
Tell us the story.
What have you learned?
Do you want to ask some questions?
No, not really. Just sum it up in a minute. What do you
Can't do
think?
it in a minute.
Well, can I ask some questions then? Where was he born?
Austria.
Tell us about his early life.
Right, he was a young lad. He
Brilliant.
What in his early life? Okay.
Yeah.
what's the name? His mum was his dad's second cousin, which is a bit weird.
Yeah.
That is weird.
They had 5 kids.
He's going. Yeah, it's usually first cousin where I come from. Oh, that's unfair, isn't it? There's no need for that.
There
Go
was
on.
there was 5 kids, but only 2 of them, including Hitler, including him and his sister survived. The others died at an early age.
Okay.
Right. Anyway, so they grew up, and the mum died and the dad died and that, and he thought, what am I going to do? Because he didn't do well at school, didn't have many qualifications.
No.
Liked art,
Did he have a GCSE in history?
right? And then, so he said, right, I'm going to go to Munich. I missed a bit out, actually. Jewish people were in Austria, he didn't really like them.
Okay.
He thought they got, special treatments and stuff, and just didn't like them. So he went to Munich, and he joined the army.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was in the army, and he got injured.
Right.
So he went to hospital, and whilst he was in hospital, the World War I ended, and he was like, "Oh God, I want to."
I was enjoying that.
Yeah, well, So. Don't, because you're breaking the concentration.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm not even sure I want to join in on this one, just in case.
Okay.
Right. Go on.
Right. So. So
He was in hospital.
He was in
War.
hospital. It gets a bit better. He's never that fit though. He's one of these blokes who was always ill. That was on for something like 30 tablets a day or something. Comes out of there, joins some other army.
Right.
God, I knew it all this morning.
I can see it running to ground. I just see his face going. I'm not nailing the fact, am I? And joined another army, and he was.
Listen, let's try and help you. So,
Here's a good bit. I remember this bit. He thought that war to men, right, was like childbirth is to women. That's how important he thought he was.
All right.
Right. So it's like, you fight for 9 months, and at the end of it, you own something. Right.
Yeah.
So he goes on and all that. He's in Berlin.
Yeah.
And he's fighting his way through, trying to take over countries and that. And he does he do Berlin? Does he?
sorry, wait a minute. Is he Chancellor yet?
What year is it? 35.
Let's skip the kind of climb to power. Then he's now the dictator of Germany.
Right, he's in
Yeah.
charge, yeah. And this is when he gets his own back on the Jewish people and that, and he's got his own little armies, and he's setting fire to Jewish businesses and all this. And anyway, cut a long story short,
Please do.
When he came to fighting Britain,
Yeah.
came a bit sort of unstuck,
Yeah.
right? Started fighting.
Not
back.
so easy, is it? This world domination, Adolf.
Britain was there, France was helping out,
Yeah.
Americans were helping out.
Yeah.
So he thought,
Well,
oh God,
a
so
bit late, but yeah. Go on.
he goes into a bunker in Berlin,
Yeah.
and it's all kicking off.
Yeah.
And apparently, Germany sort of surrenders,
Yeah.
says it's all over, forget it, we can't beat you. He was really annoyed with this, and he thought, oh, I can't show my face around here. So
Because it would be embarrassing.
he's with his missus, who nobody knew was his wife,
Right.
Eva, in this bunker.
Yeah.
And so he said, I've had enough of this. He shoots himself.
Yeah.
She poisons herself, and the chauffeur buries them or something, or burns them.
Right.
And all the time he was in charge, 50 million people died.
So that's 1918 to 1945.
Yeah.
Between
It felt like that.
between Travis and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Next week. That's fantastic.
That's remarkable. I have to say that you sort of lost your grasp somewhere along the line, because you started off confidently, but you lost your way.
I've had a really busy week, and last night I was like whizzing through it.
Sure.
And then this morning I woke up, and you know, Suzanne had been away for about 3 days, right?
Yeah.
I live next to her. She's been busy. I've been busy. First thing to say when I wake up, oh, just ask me some stuff on Hitler.
Yeah. Okay.
Which living person do you most admire? Which person throughout any time in history do you most admire?
Winston Churchill's pretty good.
You like
Yeah,
him?
very good.
Why?
Good answer.
Because if it wasn't for him, we'd be talking German. I'm not that good at that. So
He's not that good at that. I love that even if the Nazis had won, right, in 1945, and we'd be now speaking German, he still wouldn't be that good at it. Although he's not good at English, so I suppose that's true, isn't it? Yeah.
All right. Well, here's the final one for now. Do you believe in capital punishment?
That's not hitting Dr. Fox over the head with a stick.
depends what for, doesn't it?
Go on.
No, if it's something bad. And
Well, I assume it would be. They don't kill
what-
people
what-
now for parking illegally.
but what sort of thing are you talking about? What sort of punishment?
Capital punishment.
Yeah, I know, but what is that? What are you talking about?
Well, guillotine, hanging.
Hanging's a bit bad.
Yeah. Can be fatal, can't it? What do you mean hanging's a bit bad? It's all bad. Why should the state kill someone?
Because prisons are getting a bit busy, aren't they?
Brilliant. Okay.
What's the point in keeping them, people around?
Well, what's the point in killing them?
Just because it's like, right, that's that done. Who's next? You know what I mean? What can you do with someone if they're mental?
Employ him on a radio show.
Yeah.
Play a
Right.
record,
Next
Carl.
question.
Play a record.
Okay.
They were thinking more.
More.
sort of
What
philosophically,
fears have you got? What worries do you ponder the expansion of the universe? Do you worry about
There's
your...
no point, is there? 'Cause there's nothing I can do about it.
So with you, it's the little Chinese fellow across the road.
Just stuff that I've got to sort out. You know, any bills or anything. I don't worry about the world ending or anything. What's the point in that?
It's true. That is
I
true.
can't do anything about it. I always think that people with more sort of intelligence have the world on their shoulders, because they're worrying about stuff that's miles away, whereas I'm like, I'm happy if the sun's out. It's like, oh, it's a nice day.
Yeah.
I don't worry about wars and stuff going on, because there's nothing I can do.
What would you do if there was a war that maybe there was?
What, here?
Yeah.
Go on holiday.
Play a record, Carl. What do you make of St. George, the patron saint? What's your take on that?
Is he the one who killed a dragon?
Right. Tell us the story.
There was a dragon problem.
Where?
Must have been in England.
Right.
George took it on. He took on the job. He was like a rent-a-kill. He came out. The interesting thing with him is, right, he was a hero then. I honestly think if he did that now, there'd be an uproar, because it's the last dragon. It's the same way we try to save the panda and all that now. If he came out and said, I've done it, and they've done what? So I've just killed the last dragon, they'd go mental. There'd be marches. Idiot, bloody idiot. And that's what's interesting.
But it was going around burning people.
Doesn't matter, we shouldn't have killed the last one. It's the last one. And that's what we'd be like. You say you should have saved it, you should have captured it and put it in a cage so we can all look at it.
There's no point. You couldn't have bred anyway. It was the last one.
Was it definitely the last one?
Well, you were saying it was the last one. I'm not bothered either way.
Hang on,
To
what?
me,
Sorry,
hang on, whoa.
So you think that there were dragons?
Well, what are we celebrating then?
Well, it could be a metaphor, a dragon slayer. It could be a bad thing amongst us. It could be a foreign threat. It could be things that threaten. It could be anything. It's not to be taken literally, is
But
it?
the real legend of George was that he was a figure who stood up for Christianity. Have you ever done anything brave?
There was a kid at school who used to have epileptic fits a lot, and the teacher used to always say, if it happens, grab his tongue. And I sort of had a go at that once. His tongue.
His tongue.
Yeah.
What did he have a tongue for? To pick stuff up? What do you mean, a tongue?
His tongue in his mouth.
Oh, his tongue.
Oh, his tongue.
Yeah.
Right, go on.
And they used to say,
He's the English
if he starts doing it, grab his tongue and that. And I sort of had a go at that once, and it wasn't nice.
What? How'd you grab it? You grabbed his tongue, did you?
Well, I tried to. It's like grabbing a slug. And plus his mouth's going up and down. That you think he's going to have me hand here. So you sort of do that thing where you go.
So you were trying to grab hold of a kid's tongue, yeah? And he's
throwing himself all over the place. It was in a physics lesson. I sort of had a go, and then I thought, this isn't happening. So I just sort of kept putting my hand in, like I'm having a go. But in my head, I was going, I'm not going to get hold of it.
What you could have used is a pair of tongs.
Well, firstly, I don't see why this is brave. Kids have an epileptic fit and you're just supposed to help them out. I don't know why that's bravery, but even given that, the fact that you were thinking more about yourself in that situation than this other kid. You were thinking, I'll make it look like I'm helping, but I'm not really. And yet this is kid having an epileptic fit.
I did at the beginning.
Doesn't that
I tried.
sum you up, Karl? Selfish.
No, it doesn't. Because no one else was having a go. At least I did try and grab it
You
at one
weren't doing
point.
anything. You were just making it look like you were.
Have you ever tried to grab a tongue? It's like chasing a chicken. It's murder. And after a while, it wears you out. And it was weird anyway, because it was like
How long was he doing it for?
I don't know.
Why do you know? After hours of chasing this kid's tongue.
I love the idea. Have you ever tried grabbing a tongue? It's a valid question.
I love that he's annoyed. He's annoyed that this poor kid's having
what was your
an epileptic fit.
technique? Were you trying to grab it
just with your thumb and your finger, like a pincher thing.
Yeah.
But it was because his mouth's going down and.
Was he shouting or just?
No, just throwing himself around.
So that's your one attempt at bravery.
Well, hang on a minute. Let me just think.
Trying to grab a tongue.
There was a time you were chased by a bee and you scored a goal.
I forgot about that.
That isn't really bravery, is it? As you were running away from a bee, and the ball happened to hit your foot and go in. Does that count as bravery? I love it when he goes up to the pearly gates and goes, well, have you done the?
Right. What do you think of that then?
Yeah.
We've got one more bit left.
Brilliant.
One more fact. The French, right, when they were at war.
David Sharm, I just imagine him just introduced it. Amazing.
Which war was this?
It was still the World War.
One
World
or two.
War, World
Go
War
on, it's 50-50. Go on. Yeah.
Right, World War II. What the French did. Everyone needs a code.
Everyone needs a code. Yep.
A code when you're in the army.
This is a Disney song.
Right. And to sort of give the go ahead if you want to go into battle and stuff.
Okay.
Right. So.
Everyone needs a code.
But the weird thing
Game
is,
show.
right? The weird thing
Everyone.
is, do you know what theirs was?
Go on. Do you?
Yeah, I know what it is. It's
So what
a bit
was
weird.
the French code?
For what?
To sort of say, right, yeah, go on.
But they had more than one.
on this day.
But I don't know what day it is.
On
All
this
right.
day.
And it's like saying, what am I thinking of? What was the battle? What was the...
Okay, so all right. What?
Look at him, look. He's genuinely confused that I've asked this question. Right.
It was.
No. If you ask me a question, ask me the question correctly. What was the code for battle during what battle?
World War II.
No, that's not a battle. That's a war.
Yeah, it was in a war. Yeah.
I don't know what to do. He confuses people.
All right. Okay. What was it, Karl? What was the?
Yeah.
code? was
What
the
are you
French
thinking
code?
of? Right.
John's got a moustache.
What are you talking
My
about?
lungs are gonna burst.
That was a code that the French used. I just think it's a bit daft, right? Because you could come up with that by mistake.
yeah. Two French blokes talking in the trenches, and they see a major walk past, and they go, "Oh, look, John's got a moustache," and they all go and go, "No, I was just talking. What are you talking about?"
Well, the way I don't think that's a good code. I'm not.
I don't believe it is the code.
No, it is seriously.
And what?
And
It's
would
just
it,
that
would
no
it have
one
been?
talks
Would it have
about
been
it.
said in French?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the weird,
Guess in. Yeah.
No, but
What?
you see, I can't even be bothered
What are you saying, Karl?
because it's not a very good code. Do you know, like we've talked in the past about things you don't see, and I said an old man eating a Twix. You have to use that. That's safe. Because no one is ever going to see a man having an old man having a Twix.
What do you mean?
Well, use that as a code. Don't use a saying, John's got a moustache, that could crop up. And it's like the war's kicked off. How did that happen? Well, I said John had a moustache. No, I'm just saying in a letter. Say if I was a woman and my fella was fighting in a war.
Right. What's your fella's name?
Harry.
Okay, so Harry... Oh, let me get this right. So when were you married?
About 1935.
1935. So you've been married about 4 years.
Yeah.
Harry, why don't you go off? Oh, you're a woman, aren't you? You don't look like... Okay. So what did you see in Harry? Why did you like Harry? Was he...
He just was like funny.
Butch?
He wasn't that butch, but that didn't matter back then, did it, in the war?
No. And
He took everyone.
But what did you say when Harry said to you...
Well, I thought it was coming, because a lot of our friends ended up having
Did
to
you just
go
hug
there.
him and say, don't go, or something?
No point, because that would have just made it tough for him. So I just... What's the point? Just go with it.
But if he
I
had
cried
written-
after he went.
You cried after he went?
That's what you do, innit? You wouldn't do it in front of him. He's got to go to battle.
Okay, so your man goes off to battle.
Right. Then I get a letter from the Colonel saying, "Oh, bit of bad news. Harry's dead." Now I get a letter in the post.
He said what he meant, didn't he? In the...
Well, yeah, and they would do, wouldn't they? They wouldn't fanny around saying, "Oh, he was on the warpath and the cloud went dark." I go, "What? Just tell me what happened. I don't want a weather forecast."
He got shot at the arse and the bullet came out his head.
Right. Now, the Colonel, he would just tell me the basics. Now, because he sent his by
Telegram?
telegram, they sent a telegram.
Hmm.
The letter I get from Harry has been stamped, so I get it late.
Oh, okay.
So I get a letter from Harry after he's died.
Yeah.
Right, and you know he's dead.
I know he's dead, so I get
Right.
this letter with his handwriting on. I'm devastated because I was just getting over his death.
Yeah.
It's all brought back to me when this letter drops through the post.
Well, yeah, 3
Right.
days and you're pretty much over it.
It's Harry's handwriting.
Yeah?
Oh God, what's this?
What's
now
he
I
written?
open it,
Yeah.
and instead of saying things are bad here, socks are damp, you know, everything's grim, it's cold, I'm sick of it. There's a poem. It wouldn't feel like it was from Harry.
Well, what,
Because it's not in his words. Poems are never in the person's words.
But did you know Harry was a poet when you married him and made love to him
No,
that
I only
night?
picked it up because other people were doing it. Something to do in the trenches.
But when he carried you over the threshold, Karl, and he laid you down and gently kissed you, didn't he say any? Didn't he ever show you?
He must have whispered some sweet nothings into
No,
your
it wasn't
hysterical
like
red
that.
head.
It wasn't
No,
like that. Straight
no.
to the point. He was like, "Get your knickers off."
And there was a story I heard in the week. I think it was on the radio, and I don't know all the details. But what I heard was that a number of, I think it was Falkland, maybe Gulf War veterans, were, I think, suing or complaining to the government because they wanted compensation for post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but it seems to me that if you're in the army and you're a soldier, a certain degree of trauma is kind of inevitable. I mean, after all, if you're any good at your job, you are going to see people getting killed. So I don't understand what the ins and outs of it are. I don't know why.
No, when he came back and Tony Blair met him and go, all right, well, not really, no. Go on, what's the matter? Well, if there was people shooting at us and everything, it was all muddy. Well, calm down, don't cry. Well, I will.
There was a drill sergeant just kept shouting, saying, "Look at you, stupid boy, where's this
he's
gun's
got a
not
train,
clean?" And I
hasn't
just
he?
cleaned the gun and it was fine, and now he's telling me to clean it again.
Yeah, and the boots, they were shiny.
fine, he
Well,
was
he's
showing.
got to do that. It's more
His
distant.
neck was as big as his head.
Well, yeah, but you don't know what they,
I don't know what the ins and outs of it are, but
what you got to do is make sure you know what you're going into. That's what I do. You got to check the small print. So if I was, going over to the Falklands or Gulf, I'd put down and go, will it be horrible? I go, you at the back, yes. Will it be horrible? It will be horrible. Yes, it will be horrible. There will be shooting and lots of death and everything. I go, right. I'm not going to go. And they go,
Exactly.
okay then. Okay.
that should be fine, yeah.
Should be fine, yeah, just like that. Is anyone else scared about this? Pretty much all of us. Okay, then we won't send anyone then.
My brother went into the army, right, because he couldn't get a normal job. And my dad said, if you don't get a job by such a date, that's it, son, you're going in the army. So when was the Falklands? Was it about
81.
Right? And he joined back in like 81 or something. And he I don't know, he was in Aldershot or something.
Oh, yeah.
And he wrote back to my mum saying, bad time to join, bad time in this. So she wrote.
Well, bad time to join, that's so sweet, Karl, isn't it? That's like, dear Dad, yeah, well done.
Don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah, I was on the dole, that's for sure. Thank you for joining. A month before the Belgrano.
Anyway,
go on.
My mum called up, spoke to the sergeant, and said, "Can you leave him out of this one?
Can you leave him out of this one? What, the Falkland War?
He's only just joined," and she called him Chuck, which he got done for. Like, she's one of them, I think it's a northern thing, like saying, "How are you, Chuck?"
Yeah.
And she called the sergeant Chuck, and the sergeant said to my brother, "Your mum, you know, she's called up and asked if you can not go," which, of course, you know, I mean, we'll see how it goes. But can you
What?
tell
What
her-
do you mean? Why did the sergeant even entertain this?
Well,
Pilkington, come here. Your mum's been giving me a bit of earache. Now listen, tell her I've told you, but can you call her, because she called me Chuck and everything. Can you call her and say you don't mind? Well, not really. Oh, please, because I've promised her I'll say you want to go. No, please, say you want to go. Why was he entertaining this phone call?
probably because he was new.
What?
Because he was new to the army, I suppose.
Who? No, I mean the
your brother.
sergeant.
I don't know, maybe they do that.
So what happened? He didn't go in the end?
So he didn't go, no.
You can't do.
But that's ludicrous.
I love it that. Oh, we went over the top. Pilkington,
No,
I've got a note. Yeah. Is this really your mum? Yeah. Okay. No, this seems to be in order.
Because I noticed it says, I do not want to go into the army. I don't want to go and fight, and it's crossed out and it's good. My mum says don't
Yeah.
go. Now you didn't write this yourself.
No,
did you,
no, my
Pilkington?
mum wrote this. Okay.
You definitely wrote this yourself.
Your excuse. You're going to have to fill envelopes.
No, I'm sure if he was needed, he would have had to go, but I think they made a bit of a special effort. So I don't know.
Well, it wasn't conscription anyway. Oh no. I see.
But
he
were
was in
the other
army, wasn't he?
soldiers
Wasn't
going
he?
around just going? "Wah?"
Pilkington.
No, he ended up being a mechanic in there, and he got kicked out for going for a packet of fags in a tank.
What?
Now wait a minute. Wait a minute. Do you mean he nipped down the shops
Yeah.
in a tank?
Yeah.
I don't believe that, Carl. You've made
Honest
that
to
up.
God. That, and he went off with the sergeant's wife. So that didn't help, and he ended up getting kicked out.
Sorry, your brother's a genius.
I love this. I love this. First of all, he gets a call from his mum. Go and let him up. He goes, "Oh God." Then he goes, "Where's Pilkington?" His mum's on the phone. Where is he? He's near your house, Sergeant. Near my house? Well, why is? No reason. Well, when he comes back, when he's finished, tell him his mum called. And can he get me a packet of fags? Tell him to walk this time. This
Wow.
is ludicrous.
So the sergeant found out that he was sleeping
I-
with his wife.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was
Did
quite
your
young.
mum phone out and say let him off? No,
Let him off this
court-martial him.
time. Can he? Yeah. That's fantastic.
But he misses it. I mean, I haven't seen him for about 11 years. But ever since he came out, he's just kept getting into trouble and that. And the army, you know, people slag it off, but I think you're a certain type of person, it's good for
It
you.
didn't straighten him out, did it?
No.
He was going down the shops in a tank, he was shagging someone
No,
behind
but
their back.
it's
Yeah.
really weird. It's like back then, he was like a proper adult, and he had a house, and he collected crystal with his wife and that. And now, he hasn't got any of that.
Has he got the wife?
No,
Has he got the crystal?
don't think he has.
And he hasn't got the
I
house.
seriously haven't seen him for about 11 or 12 years.
Oh,
So I haven't even spoken
It
to
always
him.
Carl's stories always start off nice and funny, and then they just leave me empty and slightly depressed. I don't know whether to hug him or shoot him, put him out of his misery. Can we take Carl to the phone in if you think I should take Carl to the vet and have him put down? Because it's just too stressful. People want to ask you something. A problem. They've got a problem to solve. It can be anything. It could be a personal problem. It could be a scenario. It could be about. It could be about war. It can be anything. But it
Or it could be more flippant, I suppose. And like
yeah,
that.
yeah, could be.
Yeah, but I prefer stuff that I could
So you
sort
can get your teeth into.
and actually, you know, sort out.
What, like war?
War is too. It's a bit big for me, that one.
Do you think?
I don't want to get into that.
It's come to our attention that the Allied forces, all around the world, in active service, fighting for their country, even though they're in danger and they're missing their loved ones, they all have one thing in common. The love of one man, the respect of one fellow soldier. He's a civilian, but he's one of them. He is, to some, just a little bald-headed fool. Karl Pilkington.